But I do have a concern, and that in particular, that of the requirement under the legislation for all workers to be given statements of particulars by their employers. When the legislation was passed, we did and proclaimed, we did say that we would give 6 months give the employers 6 months to be able to come up to speed on their paperwork. But I'm being advised that this is not happening, that not all workers are being given statements of particulars. Some are being, they're of the view that they don't have to do it, that it is optional. It is not optional. All workers under the law need to have statements of particulars, and I want to encourage, I use the word encourage, employers to provide the workers with statements of particulars. Of course, we in the ministry and in the Labor Department do have the responsibility to monitor and to enforce the legislation. And I hope it is not the view in the public that because it is a small unit and the staff is working really hard and they're quite busy, that they're not going to get around to finding out who they are, those who are breaking the law. It is a document that you receive from your employer that says it has your particulars on it in terms of your data, your name, your address, and so on. But it has the particulars of who you're working for, who is paying you, what's the period of your employment, what hours are you to work, what time are you're supposed to work, what your duties are, those kinds of things. And it is actually very clearly set out in the schedule to the legislation. It actually, it's point by point by point, it is there what you're supposed to be.
So the salary.
The salary and the deductions and those things, so that it is clear, because very often we have workers who don't understand why certain things are deducted from their pay back. They say, well, I'm supposed to be working for $300, but I only get $180 at the end of the month, and they do not know where that money has gone. And so the statement of particulars is supposed to give them that information so that it's all clear for them. That is to benefit the worker as well as the employer, that everything is well documented. And though we did put some emphasis on that when we proclaimed the legislation, as I said, and that was the specific reason why we gave the extra 6 months, so that employers had time to catch up on that paperwork. Because we expect that everybody coming into the employment now would get that at the beginning of their employment, because that's what the legislation actually says. At the beginning of the employment, you're supposed to give them that. But those who are already in employment, we give them the time so that they can catch up and have those persons get those documents. And I'm not convinced that that is happening across the board. Some people are, but from the noises that I'm hearing, not everybody is.